Hey, welcome back to the Disney Plus Everyday Challenge, and today we have The Adventures of the Gummy Bears. This is the 1985. Yes, it's my era of animated television. In 1985, although strangely enough, I never really watched this. Not that I recall anyway. 1985 to 1990, 6 seasons. It went through nearly as many voices for Kevin, the main character, including David Faustino at one point, but from Married with Children, if you don't already know. And they're also they're delicious. So it might be sacrilege to eat them while talking about the show, but what are you gonna do? They're the heroes. In oh man, I should yeah, I'm not gonna chew those anymore. Uh, they're basically this is a story taking place in medieval times. There's castles, and it's apparently England of some sort, even though nobody has a British accent. It's an American animated series based on the German candy, gummy bears. I think the spelling is slightly different. I think it's an I instead of a Y. I think there was a Y originally um, when they were originally created. But yeah, it's a story of discovering gummy bears in our real world. Um, it starts off with a kid named Kevin. He's maybe 13, 14 or something like that. I don't know. He he's picked on by I guess his older brother or some other guy. There's by the way, they don't believe in gummy bears. Some people believe in gummy bears, but they're just a myth. But they do believe in ogres because they run into ogres apparently right off the bat. They're helping a wannabe tyrant to take over the kingdom by building a gigantic catapult that it doesn't seem like these not very bright ogres would be able to do. It's a pretty big machine, and yeah, but yeah. So Cavan accidentally gets caught up in this mess with the evil guy and the ogres, and he suddenly is on the run. But he gets knocked out and discovered by the gummy bears, who begrudgingly, some of them anyway, take him in and show them their secret world under the underground. He, they don't trust humans. Apparently, there had been an alliance between humans and gummy bears centuries ago that everybody's kind of forgotten about. There's stories and storybooks and things like that in their world that talk about the gummy bears, but nobody believes they exist anymore. So yeah, Kevin, Cavin, by the way, not Kevin. You'd think it's Kevin, but it's not. It's Cavin, Kevin. He joins their little band of gummy bears, all distinctly uh, dressed and person. They have certain personalities, like Smurfs in a sense, except that there's I don't know how you say it. There's Gusto Gummy and Zummy Gummy. I don't know what a Zummy would be, but there's a I guess I didn't want to say dummy. Oh, there's been more than one Zummy Gummy or Zoomy Gummy, Zoomy Gummy Gummy. Yeah, Grufty Gummy. Stuff like that. Grandma Gummy, Cubby Gummy. Yes, it's all very well merchandised and named as such. But yeah, so the gummies with very different temperaments all decide to take Kevin in and help him uh, fight against this evil guy who is about to attack the castle of the good king and his daughter, not who does a really bad job of hiding the fact that she kind of likes Kevin. She has a little bit of a crush on him, I think. No, it's not a think. She definitely does. But she she does a really bad job of hiding it from her dad, the king. So the thing is, Kevin, as he teams up with them, and they have this secret book that shows them. Um, well, this book has been locked for centuries. It contains a lot of magic that the gummy bears have lost over the years. They don't have any special powers or any magic they used to, and once Kevin shows up and they create an alliance, that book becomes available to them. And except for the only this real power they have is the gummy juice. The gummy juice that juicy. Um, the gummy juice, which gives him special powers, invisibility, or mostly just bouncing really high. When Kevin drinks it, he becomes super strong. He only finds out later that humans can only use it once a day. I don't know what constitutes a day. If juice somehow knows what a 24-hour day is, I have no idea. But that's magic, and there's really no explanation for it. So they defeat the bad guys. They work together, and he has to keep their secret. So when it comes down to, oh, how did you do this, Kevin? Oh, I kind of did it by accident. I guess I did some of it. And he can't say that, oh, the gummy bears helped me, because they got to keep. He's promised to keep their identity secret. I'm feeling that it doesn't last very long, at least for one person in particular, Callie, or however you say her name, the girl, the daughter. She eventually finds out who the gummy bears is and who they are, and they all become friends and hang out. So far, I only watched 2 full episodes of this, but some of the episodes are broken into 2 half episodes. So I've technically seen 3 stories. So yeah, it's a cute little adventure. It actually has a whole lot of mythology, a lot more than I thought there would be. They actually take some time to sort of flesh out the characters. No, it's not going to be some sort of deep dive, into some sort of complex world, but it's still, there's more depth and history that is expressed in the gummy bear world than you'd think for a cartoon about candy. Yeah. So yeah, this is, you have to understand, this is the 80s, so anything they can make a cartoon out of to sell better existed. GI Joe and Transformers were basically half-hour toy commercials, back then. It's just the way things were. They're not like that now, obviously. They had to make laws to prevent that kind of thing from happening. The kind of a morality clause, not a morality clause, but a thing where that they were going to tell a story. It couldn't just be robots or GI Joes just shooting lasers constantly. There had to be a moral. There had to be something good that the kids can get out of it. Don't do drugs, stuff like that. So yeah, there's a whole lot more you can dig into that. But here, apparently, candy. It bounces, and they're sweet, and they go on adventures together and save the kingdom. By the way, this is, when it comes to cast, this is a who's who of voice actors, and especially for Disney. I mean, all the regulars are there: Rob Paulsen, Jim Cummings, Winnie the Pooh, and Tigger. Corey Burton. I said Rob Paulsen. One guy, I'm like, hey, that sounds like Garfield. Yep, it was Lorenzo Music. Yeah, not Bill Murray, but Lorenzo Music is Tummy Gummy. June Foray, she plays Grandma. Paul Winchell. It's just a who's who. Frank Welker, of course, is throughout this. Yeah, and like I said, there's 4 different kids play Kevin over the course of 6 seasons. Like the first 4 seasons, it's 4 different Kevins. I don't know how different he sounds. Like I said, I only did 2 episodes, so it's just really weird that you just can't hold on. Maybe their voices changed. Like they get the job and they're like, hey, hey, I'm Kevin. I probably didn't play too well, so. Oh well, yeah. So it's this actually was, I enjoyed it. It's funny. It's cute. It's got some neat characters. It's when I say neat characters, there's nothing really that's gonna blow your mind. Like, oh my god, that's such an innovative character, but it works well. It doesn't sound just like a candy commercial, an overlong candy commercial. In fact, there's no mention of candy whatsoever. It's just bears that may make you remember that there's a candy that is gummy and bear shaped. So, yeah, I liked it. I can't say that I'm gonna go and watch all of it. I mean, it's 6 seasons. There's about 60 or so episodes ish. It's each of the seasons, you know, vary in length. Oh, Tress MacNeille was in this. I think a number of other Simpsons voice actors were in this. Rusty Taylor, of course. Speaking of Rusty Taylor, the voice of Minnie Mouse. Uh, there's in the second episode, the first story in the second episode features a guy named Da Vinci. I think he's Alfredo Da Vinci or something like that, or something. He's he's a guy with magic powder who makes sculptures, but they're really just animals he finds places, and then he throws the gold powder, the special sparkly powder on them, and it freezes them. And so basically just have an immobilized living creature that he just sells for profit. And he does that to the gummy bears at one point. And there's one point where he has a cart that he drives around where he sells these things. He opens up the cabinet, and you can see, you get a shot that's from inside the cabinet, pointing out to, so you see his face looking in. And in the foreground, in silhouette, you see Donald Duck and Mickey Mouse. So at some point, that guy captured Mickey Mouse and Donald Duck. And they all get free at some point, but I don't know if I remember seeing them, because the animals kind of get revenge. They kind of just all swarm him and attack him, which is kind of funny. But yeah, it has a good sense of humor, and I think most people, if you want to just go back to an old '80s style cartoon, I think you'd enjoy this. So introduce kids to it if you have any. All right, let's pick tomorrow's episode.
586.
586. Let's see what we got. 586. Make sure I get the right list. The brand new list. Okay. It's one of those direct video sequels that came out in the early 2000s. Like Disney was just dumping sequels to their classics, recent and way back. This one is another animated direct-to-video sequel. It is The Jungle Book 2 from 2003. 586. Where are you there? There you are. Jungle Book 2 from 2003. So that's what we're watching tomorrow on the Disney Plus Everyday Challenge. I'll see you back here tomorrow.